climate crisis is worse than we think. In 2018, the number of heat stroke patients caused by the heat wave reached 3,224. So, I think heat wave is one of the most serious phenomena in climate crisis. I don't use these possible products to reduce greenhouse gases, but it is my opinion that there is a limit, as there are so many disposable products around us. So, I hope there will be a policy to pay a certain amount when using disposable products. If that happens, people will gradually reduce the use of disposable products. We don't know the seriousness yet and are ruining the earth. I have to protect the earth I will live on, not in the distant future. The less the use of disposable products, the lower the temperature of the earth. We have to protect where we live.
One of the most serious climate crises is rising sea level. According to Greenpeace, Incheon International Airport could be submerged in 2030 due to rising sea levels. The areas we live in are no exception. As such, the Earth is in a serious situation due to the climate crisis. I use public transportation to prevent the climate crisis. However, it is a fact that it does not have a significant impact on reducing carbon emissions. There are ways to reduce carbon emissions related to transportation, to use and develop more battery-powered vehicles or hydrogen fuel cell vehicles that do not emit carbon. This method can reduce a lot of carbon emissions compared to using public transportation. The Earth is in a more serious situation than we think. The solution I proposed is not difficult to implement. The harder we practice, the longer we can live on Earth. Let's try to protect our place of life.
Now, you can't eat chicken anymore. The reason for this is that a variety of infectious diseases and inflation have emerged due to climate change. Your life is threatened by COVID-19, virus, AI, and inflation as well. Climate crisis like this doesn't occur by just factories or cars. The digital devices that you unconsciously use increase carbon dioxide emissions. Also, the food that you leave behind when you're full produces methane. So, I try not to leave food, minimizing the use of digital devices. Because I do know the fact that one person's efforts are very helpful in overcoming the climate crisis. However, there are many people who don't know about them around us. Thus, we should let people know this fact by promoting campaign activities or relevant experiences. Do you want to give up the chicken, one of the most delicious things in the world? Please turn down the light and put down your phone now. The more you eat, the healthier the earth will become. Please protect the earth and save the chicken. Thank you for listening.
Yeah!
It is too hot in summer and too cold in winter. These extreme weather events are increasing, and excessive use of air conditioners and heaters is also increasing. This requires a diverse and complex response. I am making effort that I pick up trash at school. Excessive use of air conditioners and heaters is one of the most increasing factors of energy consumption. Therefore, it is a good idea to improve the insulation of the building when building a house in the future. And the more renewable energy you use in your air conditioner or heater, the better. There are also ways to incorporate designs that utilize natural energy to regulate the temperature inside the home. Ours is the home we live in. Extreme weather phenomena are also problems caused by us. So we must try to solve this. I hope we can all work together to create a better world.
People these days may be gradually getting accustomed to the car. Climate change without fully comprehending its ability. Is climate change really a serious situation? Various events like tornado, hurricane, hailstones, heavy rainfall, and locust swarms are consistently happening worldwide. Even as these situations unfold, who can assert that they are not serious crises? The more I engaging in one of the school's most closer activity, vlogging, the more I come to understand it's not just about picking up trash more importantly. It's about not littering in the first place. Everyone, measures such as carbon neutrality, water conservation, energy efficiency for heating and cooling, the use of renewable energy, and opting for public transportation can be implemented right in our immediate surrounding. Want to join hands to protect one of our future? Thank you.
I think a decline in food production is the most serious problem. Due to climate pattern changes, crop production is reduced in some areas. Food security issues may arise because of water shortages. I am practicing to turn off the tap water well so as not to waste water. Water is one of the most important resources in agriculture, but the scarcer water becomes, the more areas which are difficult for food production are increasing. Therefore, we should introduce an efficient water management system and water conservation system. Also, we must seek and boost creative solutions by utilizing the technology and innovation of the private sector. If we leave it like this, our food will be reduced. We should stop the decline in food production. We need to solve the food problem for our next generation. I have a belief that we can do it if we are together.
유엔이 기후변화의 타격을 가장 많이 받는 5개 국가 중 하나로 꼽았을 정도로 이라크의 물 부족은 심각한 상태입니다. 이라크는 기온 상승과 함께 지난 4년간 강우량이 급감했습니다. 티그리스 강과 유프라테스 강 수위는 엄청나게 낮아졌는데요. 보다 못한 당국은 오랫동안 관행으로 지속되어온 불법 양어장을 폐쇄하기 시작했습니다.
ونشتغل أكثر من 20 سنة أزيد من 20 سنة نشتغل بهاي البحيرة نطلع من عندها متاعنا ورزق العائلة وغيرها ومن هاي الأمور.
화면에서 보이는 것은 당국이 폐쇄해 물이 말라버린 양어장인데 규모가 엄청납니다. 이라크 수자원공사는 양어장이 물의 증발에 취약하고 폐수가 토양에 침투해 환경오염도 가중시킨다고 지적했습니다. 전문가들은 이라크 내 약 5천 곳으로 추정되던 무허가 양어장 가운데 절반이 문을 닫았지만 일부에선 이동식 양어장이 여전히 묵인되고 있다고 지적했습니다.
Climate change is occurring due to global warming. The most serious problem is forest fires. According to the United Nations Environment Program, forest fires due to climate change will increase by more than 30% by 2050. I've seen the email deletion campaign before. There was a shocking fact that one email emits 4 grams of greenhouse gases. It was so shocking, so I deleted unnecessary emails. But the problem is that many people don't know this fact. So, schools should teach various methods that are easy to practice. You just need to think a little and practice it in your daily life. When I tried deleting emails, it was really easy. There are many easy ways to protect the earth, so let's all practice them together. The more we know and use familiar things, the more we can create a healthier planet.
I think it's important for me to be prepared to try first to prevent the climate crisis. I didn't leave school meals for 4 days this week to stop global warming. However, my efforts don't have a good effect because most students tend to leave their meals without receiving enough. If we are to actively carry out climate activities, we need to make efforts by all individuals. So, rules should be established so that students can only receive enough meals at school. From October to November, climate change was occurring in very extreme ways. If we continue to avoid climate change, we will have a dangerous climate that life can't tolerate. How about doing some climate action that you can do in your daily life, such as receiving enough meals? Please agree with the idea that minor activities can come together to make a big impact.
Flooding occurs every summer in Korea these days. Because global warming is getting worse, the more global warming we get, the more damage we will get. Global warming is one of the most serious problems. I don't organize my mail to the point where I have more than 1,000 mails. However, I found the fact that the data from these emails emit a lot of carbon dioxide. Neglected mails are stored in data centers which use a lot of electricity and emit a lot of carbon dioxide to maintain them. Power consumption can be reduced by using cloud computing that receives necessary computing resources through the internet. This is because it minimizes waste by flexibly providing only as much resource as users need. Do you not organize your mail and leave it alone? Even if it's a little annoying, you can reduce carbon dioxide emissions by erasing and organizing your mail, block spam, and empty the trash can. You can protect the earth with a few touches of your hand.
The world is suffering from a climate crisis. Climate crisis leads to frequent occurrences of abnormal weather and nature disasters. The climate crisis has claimed many lives. Not long ago, I separated and discharged garbage by running errands. While separating waste, I realized the excess use of disposable items. The use of disposable items exacerbates the climate crisis. To reduce disposable item usage, it's crucial to opt for reusable items over single-use ones. Using a tumbler instead of PET bottles and opting for a basket over plastic bags is necessary. One of the most important to improve the environment is our practice. I agree with the idea that we should protect the earth. The longer we delay addressing environmental issues, the more complex the solution becomes. We take practical steps for the environment before more significant issues arise. Thank you very much.
Have you ever thought about the seriousness of the climate crisis? Most answer to the question when the ice melts, or water, and spring is coming. But some children's answers are more complicated. They said, I'm sad for the polar bear, it's gone where it lives. Don't you feel the seriousness of the climate crisis through this child's answer? So I bring a tumbler with me when I go to a cafe. If you bring a tumbler, you can reduce disposable cups because you get drinks in it instead of disposable ones. However, in the case of unmanned cafes that robots make drinks, I always thought it is concerned that whenever I order a drink, a plastic cup comes out naturally and I have no choice but to use a plastic cup. So it would be nice to add options, such as using a tumbler to the device where you can choose the unmanned cafe menu. You can also reduce disposable cups by introducing a tumbler rental system for customers or adding options to purchase tumblers. In this way, the use of tumblers in cafes is one of the important actions that indicates our responsibility for the environment. By using a tumbler instead of a disposable cup, you can reduce the amount of disposable plastic thrown away each time. It's a small personal choice, but the more you increase the use of tumblers in cafes, the more effort you put together to make a difference. Let's all work together to respond to climate change and for a sustainable future.